This is a review regarding the association between maternal adherence to healthy lifestyle practices and risk of obesity in offspring by Ramara Scott. A background. Childhood obesity affects 12.5 million children and teens in the United States. 1 in 5 American children and adolescents aged 6 to 19 years is obese. Obesity in childhood is associated with an increased risk of multiple metabolic disorders, including diabetes and cardiovascular disease, as well as premature death in adulthood. Identifying modifiable risk factors for the prevention of childhood obesity has become a public health priority. A rapid increase in obesity in recent years is more likely to be attributable to changes in lifestyle, suggesting that nurture carries more weight than nature in driving the current pandemic of obesity. Thus, maternal lifestyle choices could exert health effects among offspring, probably through modulating the living environment and lifestyle of children. Study objectives. The study objectives were to examine the association between an overall maternal healthy lifestyle, which was characterized by a healthy body mass index, high-quality diet, regular exercise, no smoking, and light to moderate alcohol intake, and the risk of developing obesity in offspring. The population observed and studied was 24,289 GUTS participants, aged 9 to 14 years at baseline, who were free of obesity and born to 16,945 NHS2 women. NHS2 is an ongoing prospective cohort study established in 1989 with the recruitment of 116,430 female nurses aged 25 to 42 years, who responded to a detailed questionnaire about their lifestyle characteristics and medical history at baseline, and this information was updated every 2 years. In 1996, participants of NHS2 who had children aged 9 to 14 years received an invitation letter for enrolling their children in the GUTS cohort. A total of 16,882 children returned a completed questionnaires. In 2004, GUTS was extended to include 10,918 more children of NHS2 participants who were aged 9 to 14. GUTS participants have been followed up with yearly self-administered follow-up questionnaires between 1997 and 2001, and with biennial questionnaires thereafter up to 2013. The type of study. The design was a prospective cohort studies of mother-child pairs. The setting was the Nurses Health Study 2, or NHS2, and Growing Up Today study, GUTS, or GUTS, in the United States. The main outcome measure: obesity in childhood and adolescence defined by age and sex specific cutoff points from the International Obesity Task Force. Risk of offspring obesity was evaluated by multivariable log binomial regression models with generalized estimating equations and an exchangeable correlation structure. The study description. Diet was assessed by use of a 130-item food frequency questionnaire, which was designed to measure diet over the past year. Participants were asked how often, on average, they had consumed specific foods, with 9 possible frequencies ranging from never to at least 6 times per day of prescribed portion sizes, Information on alcohol consumption was obtained from food frequency questionnaires, and participants reported their average frequency of alcoholic beverage intake during the previous year. Physical activity was assessed by a validated questionnaire. Participants reported body height and weight at baseline and updated body weight in the biennial questionnaires. NHS2 participants were inquired about their smoking history, including current smoking status, the number of cigarettes smoked per day for current smokers, years of quitting for past smokers, and other related information at the biennial questionnaires. Statistics. The follow-up period of the study was from baseline, thus 1995 for NHS2 and 1996 for GUTS participants, until one of the following events, whichever came first: the onset of obesity in the offspring, when the offspring reached the age of 18 years, after which offspring might not continue to live with the mother, or the end of the follow-up. Calculated the cumulative average starting with the baseline until the onset of offspring obesity, or the end of the follow-up. Next, calculated the cumulative averages for continuous lifestyle variables of the offspring, that is, diet, physical activity, sedentary time, and calorie intake. For categorical variables, including smoking status in mothers and eating behaviors in offspring, they use the most recent available information before the onset of obesity in offspring, or the last measurement before the end of the follow-up, to evaluate the association between maternal lifestyle factors and obesity. They calculated relative risks and 95% confidence intervals using multivariable log regression models, estimating equations, and specified an exchangeable correlation structure. The first evaluation was regarding associations with offspring obesity by categories of each low-risk factor, adjusting for other maternal factors, including age at baseline, race or ethnicity, history of chronic disease, living status, and the household income during that year, and educational attainment of the spouse or partner, as well as offspring of the sex. Then, a low-risk lifestyle score was derived by summing the number of low-risk lifestyle factors. This began by considering diet, physical activity, and alcohol intake in the score. Next added was smoking status, and finally, body mass index to examine all 5 factors simultaneously. In those analyses, the study compared the characteristics of the offspring born to mothers who adhered to all low-risk factors at issue with other offspring of women who did not adhere to the low-risk factors. Next, a missing category for the maternal covariates was added, such as household income and educational attainment of spouse or partner. Missing values of offspring covariates, including diet, physical activity, and sedentary time, were also imputed by the multiple imputation approach. Results: 5.3% of offspring became obese during a median of 5 years of follow-up. Risk of incidence obesity was lower among offspring whose mothers maintained a healthy body mass index, engaged in at least 150 minutes of activities, 150 minutes per week of moderate to vigorous physical activities, did not smoke, and consumed alcohol in moderation compared with the rest. Maternal high-quality diet, the top 40% of the alternate healthy eating index for 2010 diet score, was not significantly associated with the risk of obesity in offspring. When all healthy lifestyle factors were considered simultaneously, Offspring of women who adhere to all 5 low-risk factors had a 75% lower risk of obesity than offspring of mothers who did not adhere to any low-risk factor. Some conclusions. Adherence to a healthy lifestyle in mothers during their offspring's childhood and adolescence is associated with a substantially reduced risk of obesity in the children. These findings highlight the potential benefits of implementing family or parental-based multifactorial interventions to curb the risk of childhood obesity. Potential bias. Lifestyle characteristics, including body weight of mothers and their offspring, were exclusively based on self-reports, which are known to be subject to measurement errors. The study was also comprised of a homogeneous socioeconomic status and educational attainment. Additionally, only maternal lifestyle was observed, so the potentially crucial role of paternal lifestyle in the environment of obesity in offspring wasn't investigated. Prospective research examining the father's role in the development of obesity in offspring is therefore needed. Some additional considerations. Additional considerations are measured from the limitation of the study. Therefore, as stated prior, lifestyle characteristics were self-reported and are known to cause measurement error. Additionally, it cannot be excluded that the possibility of uncontrolled confounding by psychosocial factors and offspring or residual confounding. An ideal study design was also derived from the strengths of the study and what worked well. A large sample size and a prospective study design with a long follow-up. Detailed information of the lifestyle factors in both mothers and offspring, as well as an observational study. And these are the references. Thank you very much.